legally speaking, finders isn't necessarily keepers. Now, let's have a round of keep still or scarper. I'm going to show you some dangerous animals, and I want you to tell me what you should do. Stand your ground or skedaddle for the hills, all right?
OK.
So, let's start with the first animal. Here it is, it's a snake. With a snake, should you keep still or scarper?
Keep still. Keep still.
Why?
Because you're so terrified. The snake will not attack a moving object.
In which case, you'd say you should move.
What?
You said it won't attack a moving object.
It will attack.
Right.
It will attack a moving object.
It actually forgets you're there if you stand still.
Yeah.
It would just ignore you.
I get that a lot.
Same being married. Does it depend on how fast you run? Because if you can outrun
They can
it...
strike very quickly, and if you're close to it, just the act of turning to run would like that. If you felt threatened.
OK.
But certainly the best thing to do is just simply stand stock still, and then nothing happens.
Well, you'd feel a fool if you stood still and then it bit you anyway, wouldn't
You
you?
would!
Your mobile went off or something.
That's true. Keep your mobile.
Yeah.
Don't have your mobile on vibrate. That would be the worst, because they have marvellous sense of vibration.
Yeah.
OK, our next ones. Let's have a look at this little trio. Harmonising...
Aw.
Ha ha, you say, they can tear you to pieces. 3 of a wolf pack, a wild...
When they finish their song.
So should you keep still? Should you keep still or scarper? Yes, Jason.
I'm going to say scarper.
I'm afraid not. No, you should know. They are coursing predators. They actually tear and eat things on the run. So that's how they like to eat.
They've not seen me run, though. My running is the same as me keeping still. So
You should just shout, throw stones, pebbles, whatever, and then back slowly away, and you'll be fine.
Shout at what?
Like that. Throw things. They're not used to that behaviour.
And the wolves,
I asked.
they just back away, going, he's mental.
If you run away...
There's a guy down in Devon, there's this bloke who lived with wolves in Combe Martin Wildlife Park, and Sean Ellis. He's an extraordinary bloke, and he wanted to know what it was like to be accepted as part of a wolf pack. And so he lived with the wolves for a year and ate raw meat and growled and snarled at them.
Learnt the body language.
Learnt the whole body language. It was amazing. And his girlfriend wrote, it has put a little bit of a strain on our relationship.
Really?
Oh, really? Yes. Yeah, every time we go out hunting of a night, you know, I feel a little bit left out.
You will tear the waiter apart limb from limb.
She doesn't keep still.
Yeah.
I shouted at a moth once and it died. It was too high up the curtain, so I couldn't reach it, so I got really mad at it and it just dropped. Some would say it was dead already, but I like to think it was because of me.
words.
Yeah, it was plain dead.
Well, it was definitely dead once. It was under my shoe.
Fair enough. What about a shark?
I would say... Oh, it's not... I was going to say fight.
Are you supposed to
Fight!
Yeah, because you put your thumbs in its eyes, you punch it on the nose...
Get out of there! Run! Well, no. Swim! Don't stand still. Scarper is the answer.
scarper.
Just plain
Can
scarper.
I do an eye gouge first?
No, I wouldn't bother with any of that. I really wouldn't.
There
Just
was
get
that
out of
Welsh
the
bloke,
way.
he was on holiday, and a shark started attacking a load of kids, and he went in and he grabbed it by its tail and get out of it, threw it back in, and then got home, and they sacked him because they saw him on the news saying you were on sick leave.
It's harsh.
He's a hero.
He said I was on holiday for stress.
Blow bubbles, apparently it's not bad. But if you're in its
Underwater.
mouth, don't play dead. That's a bad thing. So struggle in the
Well,
mouth.
in a moment you won't have to play.
You will have to,
Well, yeah.
exactly, while you're still conscious. Now, what about Africanized honeybees, also known as killer bees? Stay still or scarper?
Stay still.
No!
Oh, run away, the other one.
It's a binary question. One for cheek. Yeah, no. Run away as fast as you can. Don't stop to help friends or anything. Just get the hell out of there and keep on running at least 400 metres. And don't think you can hide in water. They will wait above your head where you are. And when you come up for air, they will absolutely attack you.
Shit!
They are really... Nicely put. They are... No, they're not nice.
And
How
I bet-
far is 400 metres?
It's about 400 metres, I think.
How many Newtons is it?
It's slightly less than half a kilometre. In a kilometre, it's 5/8 of a mile. Yes, you can do 500 metres.
OK, I'm just checking.
Put your shirt over your face as well, if you can.
Really?
OK.
Yeah, to
Could you
protect
not
it
just
from
quickly
stinging.
open a can of Fanta and put it down on the ground? there, look, you love that!
Don't risk it.
Put your top over your face. Are
Yeah.
they distracted by boobs? Is
No.
that
So what do you do with a monkey? Keep still or scarp that?
Nice, isn't it?
Well, just reason with it.
How many heads has it got?
Sign language.
Keep still.
Yes, but not dead still. There's a particular open-mouthed,
Like dancing?
open-lipped
No.
thing that you do. You bare your teeth.
Yeah.
A round mouth, bare your teeth.
And you just
Round.
keep shaking around like that.
That's it. Raise
By
your
the time I've
eyebrows.
done it, he's
And
killed
raise
me.
your eyebrows.
And do that.
That's it. Show your teeth. Raise your eyebrows.
What does that
You have monkeys, don't you?
Yes, we have golden-handed tamarins.
Oh, lovely. Are these
Did you have them round
they
your
live in the
house?
house easily?
They live in the house, yeah.
Wow.
But do they?
Yeah, we don't let them out.
Are they house trained?
Yes, of course.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think it was Jane Goodall discovered that when you try and house train a chimpanzee, their intelligence is of a different order, and it's kind of smart but stupid. And she had these chimpanzees, and when one pooed on the floor, this little wooden bungalow that she had in Africa, what she'd do is she'd make it confront its own poo, spank it on the bottom, and throw it out the window. And
This is ground floor, yeah?
it's I said bungalow, yes. So she did that twice, and then the third time she saw one poo, slap its own bottom, and jump out the window. It's amazing. I think you'd have been really good. And you kind of go,
That's not dissimilar to my daughter's nearly 4, right? And-
Sorry for embarrassment for future shows.
Be fine. I won't tell you which one. I've got twins.
oh, fine.
She's, you know, if there's a point where they're slapping each other and fighting, then you go, right, get on the naughty step. There's a point where she's so annoyed that she will just slap her sister, you know, in the face or whatever, and then just go and get on the naughty step herself.
Oh.
And sort of sit there with her face saying, it was worth it.
Yeah.
That's very good. Very good. Excellent. Cows?
Why would you need to?
Well, you say that, but there are more than 50 a year.
Really?
Injuries caused by cows.
50 idiots.
Particularly calving mothers. They can get more aggressive than bulls.
fair enough,
We're
because
afraid
they-
of bulls, but actually cows are, yeah.
But presumably, if you're putting your arms up a cow's nunny to pull a calf out,
Yes.
she's allowed to kick you in the face.
Oh, well, there'll be a bit of that. I don't think we're talking about that. No, we're talking about...
Ramblers.
Actually, yeah, ramblers. And what happens is particularly dogs tease them. The cow then gets aggressive with the dog and chases the dog, and the dog, of course, yelps back to its owner.
Yes.
And then the cow will hurt the owner.
They crowd you, don't they? And then if you
Yeah.
fall down, you get trampled.
Yeah.
So get
So
the
you
hell
need
out.
to scarp.
Yeah, you do need to scarp very
Yeah.
soon, so yeah. So, how do you get an ant to keep still? Sarah.
Stop the music.
Play that. That's very good. Do you know by any chance who was the first person accurately to portray small insects? Most famously, the flea, which is a very recognisable image, which is the cover of his book, Micrographia. He was a remarkable scientist, town planner. He has a law named after him of tension and springs. He was a contemporary of Newton and Christopher Wren. He was responsible for much of the town planning after the fire of London. And he used a microscope to see animals, including this little flea, and an ant. And there it is, which he was an amazing artist, as you can see. And he describes precisely how he got the ant to keep still. He said, I gave it a gill of brandy, which after a while knocked him down dead drunk. He struggled, wonderful phrase this, for a pretty while very much.
Sounds like he was drinking
For a
some
pretty
himself.
while very much. Till
One
at
for you,
last,
one for me.
till at last certain bubbles issuing out of its mouth, it ceased to move and remained moveless for a good while. Moveless, yeah. Well, it was in 1665 the book came out,
Well
Micrographia.
done.
A gill, by the way, is a quarter of a pint.
Wow.
They can hold their booze, can't they, ants?
Yeah.
8 times their body weight.
But what was this man's name? Remember? Audience?
Remember.
Robert Hooke. Well, yeah, Ian Robertson shouted that. Ian Robinson is a physicist. That's cheating. But yes, Robert Hooke. And he suffered, as many did, although he was one of the greatest geniuses who ever lived. Isaac Newton was a really thoroughly ghastly man. And he particularly hated Hooke and had him erased from history because anybody who wasn't Newton was just not good enough. And all the portraits of him we got rid of because he was so powerful, Newton, because he was such a genius and so recognised around the world. And an artist named Rita Greer has set herself the task of creating more portraits of Hooke than there are of Newton to redress the balance. And here's one. It's based on meticulously researched likenesses of him. There are now 20 in the world as opposed to 16 of Newton. So Hooke has won, although obviously Newton was a truly great man.
He was a bit of a wrong-un.
I'm afraid he was.
A terrible egomaniac.
Total egomaniac.
Gravity. I mean, goes to your head.
Yeah.
He looks like he's had a few gills of whiskey there.
He does, doesn't he? He's a little He doesn't look as if he's had much sun.
Look, it's 2 little ants meeting in a pub. Hello, Mr. I'm Bradley. I love you. No, I love you.
Well, there you go. On the subject of keeping still, how hard is it to be a nude model? Don't you remember that, Alan?
Oh, that was a good night.
It's the woman second from the left who seems to be most enjoying the view. The one with the orange scarf.
He's going to need a bigger pad than that.
They're all just drawing sections of you, aren't they?
I'll do the helmet.
Yeah.
Were you being funny there, or...?
That's not really him.
Oh, it's not real? I assumed that you would be funny naked. I'm sorry, Alan.
Funny naked.
Well, that's what I can see.
Yes, you say what you see.
Yeah.
But there is actually a register of artists' models, RAM, that looks after the interests of models. And it thinks that the idea that life modelling is a breeze is completely wrong. To keep still for a long while is very, very
pins
hard.
and needles and cramp.
Pins and needles, cramp. So you have to do one thing at a time. You start with short poses called gestures, bold, action-oriented poses, which are used as a warm-up. And then you go 2 minutes, then 5 minutes, and then eventually 30 plus. There's more work for women than men. The classes prefer them, and there are more of them in the market, it appears. And in 1998, a man called George Bond took Northampton College to an industrial tribunal, claiming that he was not being employed on the basis of his gender and that it was sexual discrimination. In fact, they were able to demonstrate that it was personal. And the reason was he couldn't hold a pose, he fidgeted, went to the loo too often, had a background in erotic films which troubled the A-level students, particularly one 16-year-old at whom he winked when she was drawing.
Oh. Wait, what did he wink with?
He was squinting. Oh, don't... What did he wink with? Yo. He said that. He explained to them he didn't have glasses, so he was squinting, but he did also improvise a pose which involved sticking his bottom into the air, which was described by some students as giving an unfortunate view. So,
Didn't want him. They didn't want him there. They didn't want to draw him.
they just didn't want George there.
Get out, George.
So he lost the case. But there are contentious issues described by the Register of Artist Models. And contentious issues include raids on studios by amusing non-art students who just want to see a nudie person.
Yes.
It's very silly. A warning against passing window cleaners. Yeah. And their policy is to suspend any member, that's an odd way of phrasing it, who gets an erection during a sitting. Oh. When I say suspend any member, I mean...
Right, OK, yeah.
Suspend yourself, wouldn't you?
Forced out of the
You'd
register.
have to say, all right, I'll get my coat.
Right, yeah. And just hang it over there. He's like being struck off then, is it?
Yes,
So, yeah,
basically it is, yeah.
You can never be a nude model
You can't ever
if
be.
you can't control yourself.
Keep on moving.
How are you doing that?
Yeah, you're suspended.
Oh, that's why I'm banned from RAM.
That was very impressive.
That's with his clothes on as well. Let's give him a gill of brandy and
An AA gill of brandy. Absolutely. Well, there you are. That's RAM. Now, Little Bo Peep keeps lesbian sheep, but doesn't know how to find them. Can you help? Oh, look at that.
So
Lesbian sheep.
Right.
How can you tell if sheep are lesbian?
Well,
By their conduct.
yes.
The trouble is you can't. You can
really?
with so many species.
Can't you just the wafts of Katie Lang coming from the field? Lamb.
Something to do with sex.
Well, no, the funny thing is, ewes just stand still.
If they want
If
sex.
they want sex. So you can't tell if sheep are lesbians, and yet, this is also true. We have had a huge problem with lesbian sheep.
Well, what? That's not my fault.
Yeah.